Welcome to DXB today. It has been a crazy week and the excitement continues. We're very, excited to be here with you in studio. We've got a special episode lined up for you all about autism, and today we're meeting some of the incredible individuals who are truly making a difference and making the UAE a more inclusive place. Let's find out what else is coming up on today's show.
I went down to find out how restaurants are facilitating inclusivity in the city with the Touch NGC takeover of Maisan15.
Yeah, and we've got young stars from the GEMS Wellington cluster joining us right here in the studio and performing for us as well. But before we get into all things World Autism Month, I mean, guys, what an amazing turnaround it has been here in the city since last week. I know some people are still recovering from the damage that has been done to their homes. How's it been for you both?
Well, we're spending thousands of dirhams today, rainproofing our villa. We had about 15 leaks, but thankfully no floods. My heart honestly aches for all the people out there who are really struggling, who actually had flooding in their homes and their businesses have been flooded. Faris,
it's just
horror
one of those
stories?
things where some people were luckier than others, but I think we're all pretty lucky because, as you said, Nimi, the fact that last week this happened and this week coming into the studio, no floods, like everything has been drained, everything's been sorted out. Not only that, it's been cleaned as well. People who've been affected have been put up in hotels, a lot of them. Other people are getting the help to them. There's resources now that people can use if they are still suffering from those floods. So there is a hotline that you can call if you need any support when it comes to any of the floods. If you have been affected, you can go to 800-900. The MyAsta app allows those affected by recent rains to connect with their GPS instantly online and free of charge, and that is available to you from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And if you are affected in Sharjah, you can apply for aid through the Sharjah digital platform using the link shown. And not to mention Petsville Dubai, which is opening their doors to provide free boarding for beloved pets whose homes have been seriously damaged by the flooding and need a place to stay. And it's not just the authorities and the civil defense coming together, the communities as well, which I love to see.
And I want to remind everyone to please support local businesses. I know one of my best friends has her company in Al Quoz. They were walking around with water up until their waist. All of their inventory has been lost. They've lost hundreds of thousands of dirhams, and they're just beginning to recover.
Yeah.
How about you, Nimi?
Look, I have to second what Farah said. I think it's the community coming together that's really, really beautiful. And I think that just showcases what we're more about. You know, Dubai just always coming together to support one another. And speaking on that note, I think that World Autism Month is something that we ourselves want to educate ourselves more about on this very episode, but we cannot do it alone. So let's find out who our guest co-host is today.
Hi, my name is Rana Kad. I'm the founder and managing director of Jazz Inclusion and can't wait to see you all in the studio.
Rana will join us right here in just a little bit. But first, I went down to find out what opportunities Dubai has to offer to people with determination. Take a look at this. Today I am at Maisan15, a restaurant right here in Al Barsha, and I'm very, very excited because I'm going to be speaking to Jean Winter and to Rita Swedan, two fantastic women who are helping people in the UAE who have autism. So first up, we are going to be speaking to the head chef right here at Maisan15. Thank you so much for joining us, Rita Swedan.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, I think probably my new favorite restaurant. I absolutely love the vibe here. It reminds me of home.
Thank you so much.
So tell us a little bit about Maisan15. Is there as they say, a company ideal?
I would describe Maisan15 as a restaurant with serving comforting dishes in a calm and serene environment, surrounded by cool arts.
Well, I mean, definitely. You're delivering on that already. So what kind of food can people expect to find here?
Yeah, we have our own bread program. So we make our own bread over here. Levantine flavors, North African flavors, and a lot of the food that that I'm passionate about.
And I know something amazing about Maisan15, apart from the vibe, apart from the food, is of course the inclusivity. And I believe you do have a couple of people who work here, help out, who are people of determination. Can you tell us about them?
I am currently mentoring Yasmina from Touch Dubai on the weekends. Yasmina has autism and ADHD, and over time she's become very confident and she's really enjoying helping the front of house team. You know, she's gone from folding napkins to now greeting the guests, passing the menus, to closing bills, you know, clearing tables. Honestly, we're all so happy to have her part of our team.
Thank you so much, Rita Swedad. You're doing amazing work.
Thank you so much.
So tell me, what is Touch's mission if you had one?
Well, it's basically providing opportunities where there were none and rethinking hospitality, rethinking employment within GCC to pretty much create opportunities for not just people of determination. So we relook opportunities as we see it, create opportunities where there were none before, and give them jobs.
Because people have this idea, this stigma that people of determination can't do certain things, they never get to do those certain things, never have the opportunity, and as a result,
100%.
they don't do those things. Do you think there's a truth in that?
There is a lot of truth in that because I think people can't look past labels, and that's why I hate labels. And with Touch, we don't have labels. And when people ask, what disability do they have? I was like, why is that important? Why shouldn't you ask me what talents they have? So we are selling their talent, we're not selling their disability.
And Jean Wingsy, doing amazing work. Thank you so much for being here.
So what? Do you want a burger?
Well, I've definitely been inspired, and I hope you have as well, not just by the incredible people who are doing this amazing work, but of course the people of determination who continue to break boundaries.
Another beautiful example of inclusivity in the UAE. Thank you, Faris, for that.
You're welcome, Dina.
Now, our co-host today is an entrepreneur dedicated to fostering accessibility and opportunity for individuals with disabilities through her platform, Jad's Inclusion, closing the gap in quality education and special needs inclusion. Please welcome Rana Aed to the show. Rana, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I have heard about you over and over again, and I'm so honored to honestly have you here with us.
It's an absolute pleasure being here. Thank you very much.
Just to kick things off for anyone who may not be familiar with your story, tell us a little bit about your son and how this program began.
Absolutely. So Jad, same old story, born, developed very well, everything's normal. Unfortunately, at the age of 2.5, he started losing his speech, he started losing interaction, being a bit in his own world. Of course, we don't have a background of anyone on the spectrum in the family, so I didn't know what was going on. It's very easy for a mother to blame it on herself, and this is why I want to highlight. I educated myself. I discovered what autism is. Back then, it wasn't really known, and this is when he was diagnosed. Sadly, I went through severe depression because the first and easiest thing is for a parent to blame it on herself, which is basically, and this is why I really want to emphasize in this point because I really struggled in that part of my life. If he was born like that, I would have accepted it. But the fact is that he regressed. The guilt is unbearable. And I really want to highlight this. And I always tell everyone, yes, I mean, I play devil advocate. Yes, I'm a professional, but I'm a parent myself. So I know parents' feeling. So I really want to emphasize and highlight whoever this happened to, it is not your fault. Okay, I've been in the field long enough to know it's not because the child has been on the iPad for a long time. It's not because you're a working mom. It's not because you neglected the child. It does happen. It's not common, but there's a big percentage that the child might regress at the age of 2.5. So it's one of the types of autism.
Rana, I do want to stick to that topic, I guess, because I think there's going to be so many women who are at home right now listening, watching this, and they are probably sharing the sentiments that you had just shared. What are the things that really got you through that dark time as a mum, as someone who was putting so much guilt and pressure on herself?
So it's just going back to the basics. And honestly speaking, as I said, I went to the journey of depression. It wasn't, it was a dark place. And back then it was blogging. So I went on social media. I started sharing my stories. I started sharing my feels. And this is where the community came. Back then it was called Autism in Dubai, and it was just parents sharing their fears. And I realized as I'm not proud of it, how shallow I was, is when you have a child, it's not, you don't get a catalog being like, you know, I want this, that, that. When you sign up to have a kid, you sign up to be a mother. You don't sign a contract being like, I want this, that, that, that. Being a mother, you're supposed to love your child, be there for your child, support your child to your maximum abilities. So it's more of a brain trick. It's more of a, why am I seeing Jad as on the spectrum? He is funny, he is gorgeous, so don't focus on the negative. And this is not only on the child on the spectrum, any parent, I would say, don't focus on the negative thing. He is still your beautiful, precious child that you love. And it's as simple as that. I think it's a taboo that we never want to face, but once you face it, so what? It's not the end of the world.
And it seems like it's definitely opened your eyes after you went through that phase of depression. So tell us about Jad's inclusion. How did it get started?
So being acceptance and aware of what's going on, it makes you start seeing your child's strength, let's put it in a way, and abilities. Yes, he might not be neurotypical, but that makes him a special child and makes him have stronger abilities. And this is where I came to the idea of Jad's inclusion, because what happened is I tried putting him in special needs school, which are multiple amazing special needs schools in Dubai, but he started to imitate other kids physically because he had physical disabilities. So I was like, you know, with all that intervention, I'm not going to take a step back. I tried mainstream school. He was rejected with pretty much all the schools back there in Dubai. And yet when he was accepted, he wasn't really accepted. So this is where the idea of, you know what, if my son is special, let's create a special place for people like him, which is not severe, not neurotypical, but what's the middle. So this is what Jad's inclusion, it's basically the niche gap in the education system, which is in the middle, that exactly how I described it. Not severe enough to be in special needs school, yeah, not high functioning to be in a mainstream school. Are we isolating the kids when we do that? Absolutely not. And this is what I want to emphasize about Jad's inclusion. We are a boutique school of no more than 40 kids. The highest we reach is 33 kids. And I always joke about it. I'm like, if we hit the 40, that means we're doing a bad job. We don't want the students to stay at ours. We are not a permanent place. We are just great neurotypical schools. Why aren't you accepting Jad? 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Let's work on 1, 2, 3, push them back. Let's become inclusive. This child should not be here, but they need to certain areas to work on, and we push them back. So this is the whole idea, is not for the child to stay with us.
So it's a transitionary period, essentially.
Yes, it's a transition period. It's either the child is lacking, and it's not only for autism, it's all delays, because again, as I said, this gap can be, we have kids with anxiety, we have kids with depression, we have kids with severe ADD, severe dyslexia. So it's the way I describe it is that we're incubating the kids, not isolating him. We incubate, we toughen them up. Once they're ready, they should go back, either to schools or community, because we're getting more parents being like, well, you know what, our children are learning so much more here. As I said, our kids are special, so they might not be great in English, but they might be geniuses in math. And sometimes schools cannot provide that, right? In our place, we can focus in one criteria. So a lot of parents are like, they don't want to go back to school. Let's focus on a career or a job. So we're doing that as well.
Now, just lastly, as we wrap this up, advice for parents getting ready to, or maybe in the middle of trying to figure out which school they should send their kids to. What are a few bullet points that they should follow? Some advice?
Honestly speaking, as I said, I always go to the basics. Know your kids, care about your kids, care about his happiness. Don't follow the taboo of, well, my child should do this or my child should do that. It's what your child is able of, their happiness. If the child is not happy, if they're miserable, they cannot improve. So let's focus on this. When you and your child are in a good place is when they achieve.
Rana, we still have you here for the rest of the episode, so I'm looking forward to getting into more conversation with you then. But coming up, we are meeting the team of Dubai Autism Centre, the region's first Emirati non-profit organisation offering specialised therapeutic services in the field. So stay with us.